Instagram as well. So I'm just getting the feed up, and I'm going to let you talk with my producer Rachel, for 60 seconds while I get that going. Rachel, are you there? Uh-oh, she might be.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Danita. Welcome. Hi, Bondell.
Thank you.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi. Welcome. Welcome. So happy you guys are here. I started pinging people as well, and we're going to have a great time.
I see some other friends of mine joining. Jasmine Graham is here, and a couple other people I'm pinging into the room at the moment. And so,
Fantastic.
Rachel, tell us a little bit about the experience of producing for this show, because I see that you all have a sponsor that gives funds to the United Nations, which is fantastic.
Yes.
And
yes, ISIS mentor gives impact. Yeah, she donates for every person who comes through the room. It's pretty fantastic. And my background is television, and I do podcasts. And when ISIS was doing this, I reached out to her and I said, I'm a producer and I want to experience Clubhouse and see how I can, translate what I do here. And it's been really fun, to tell you. It's like a very different experience. But I think TV is going away. I think podcasts are going away, and everything's going to be here. I really think this is it. I also have a show that I stream for Crackle, and I think streaming in Clubhouse is how it's all going to go. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, the digital route, it seems to be the way things are moving. And
Absolutely.
I feel like I also work in TV as well, and I feel like the television industry has to catch up with what's going on now.
Danita,
they have to.
It's collapsing right before our eyes. I think there's absolutely no way for it to keep up with streaming and with all of this action. And it's also, it's too expensive. And I just think look at Netflix, all the content and how inclusive it is, how global it is.
Yeah, it seems to be more inclusive, especially not having so much censorship as well. Because everything is at your fingertips. If someone wants to get something, a message conveyed, they go right on their social and it's streamed live, and it cuts out the middleman.
I was a senior producer at CBS News, and I was learning the business of news when I was doing it. And social media, it changed everything. The internet changed everything. You can't produce anything faster than social can produce it. So everybody's got to just keep jumping. We all have to keep up and keep moving. And I think it's a very exciting time right now.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pulling tricks out that I never knew I had, and I love it. It's just, I absolutely love Clubhouse. Is phenomenal. Opportunities and just meeting people from all over the place, and it's a very collaborative environment. How long have you been on? Let's see.
I'm still learning.
October.
Yeah, I'm still learning how to grow. ISIS has seemed to set the trajectory with how we should do things. I do not know how. She must have extra 24 hours in her day, because 50K followers. I mean, I saw when Patty Singer had her moderating one of her rooms, and then the article in Wired and Entrepreneur.com and Yahoo Finance. I was like, wow, she is really killing the game. And not only that, being a screenwriter and a director was also impressive. And I just don't know how she does it. But
yeah, ISIS got in and she applied what she knew in the world and created this whole new avenue for herself. And look, she's the first to do a lot of things, but there's room. What ISIS preaches, there's room for everybody, and that's why it's so cool. She gives away her knowledge, but you really have to dedicate the time here and really network and figure it out. But everyone really wants to. The word collaborate comes out a lot. Everybody wants to get in here and learn, but you have to put the time into it for sure.
Well,
I mean, I produce this podcast for Westbrook Audio, and I'm going to have the talent come on here and, do a big meet and greet. And, you just have to bring your resources and just kind of go with your gut on this. The possibilities are endless. And I just think if you could convert what you do in the real world to here, this is the new real world. I know it sounds crazy and silly, but I mean, if you look on my bio, a couple of my credits are on there, and all of my stuff definitely converts to here. Yeah. And interesting because, I'm meeting people from everywhere.
Yeah.
And to see what everybody's bringing to the table is wild.
Well, that's the reason why I called on two of my dear friends like Bondell and Jasmine tonight. Bondell is masterful with a lot of his talent. He's an actor. He's into politics where he is. And I guess he can come on more and explain that. And Jasmine, she is also into branding. So it's just nice to see how all of us have connected along the years and we all grow and elevate. And like you said, we bring what we've learned to the world, into the platform. So, I mean, I think Isis or you pulled them up into the room, but they can tell you a little bit more about themselves, when we have the time. Yes.
You were wondering about Isis' sponsor. She just walked in.
Hey!
Hello. How are you?
Your donation back to the United Nations. This is Vondell. This is Jasmine.
Wow.
Good evening, Tamara.
Good evening, Tamara. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you.
So Tamara, can you tell us a little bit about your connection with ISIS and the sponsorship with your foundation?
I'd love to. So Basal is, a movement online where actually wanting to take back the sector and support female founders in the process. And those female founders have to meet a criteria of the beauty and wellness that they sell is ethical. So that means that it's clean, vegan, no testing on animals, locally made, and committed to zero waste. So what's really great about that is, we're already spending that money on buying products. So we're just asking women to switch from unethical to ethical brands. Okay. And so what we do is giving is embedded in everything that we sell. So what that means is that when you buy a product, we automatically give an impact to the United Nations Sustainability Goals. So when Isis and I were talking about her mission and what she was trying to create, I said, look, I'd love to support you. And instead of it all being about the amount of money that we make on Clubhouse, let's talk about the impact we can make on Clubhouse. So for every person who joins the room, I offered to donate an impact to the UN as part of the sales mandate to really give back with every purchase that we make. And now every person who joins ISIS in her journey. So, I love supporting her. And I think, if we can get 1,000 people in the room, that's 1,000 lives we can change, not only in Clubhouse, but also through the UN. Yeah. But thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey everyone, I'm so sorry.
All right.
Yeah. I'm having a little technical difficulty with my live stream, but we're not going to hold up the interview. As you guys know, this is a one-woman show, so if something goes wrong, I have to figure it out, but we're not going to stop this party any longer. Thank you so much for Rachel and Tamara kind of holding things down. Vondell and Jasmine, I'm so happy you're here as VIP guests, and I did see Veg. I called him up too. I remember Veg. He's a lovely guy. I brought him up, but he may have had to move for a second. I'm sure he'll be back. So anyway, welcome everyone to the Isis Djata show. I'm so excited tonight. My guest is the beautiful Danita Chantel, and I'm just so excited that you're here. And I have to be honest with you that I put my guest, so I did kind of, talk about during the promo flyer that you're single, and we'll get to that later because people start DMing me like, oh, is this lady really single? And I said, oh, yes, she is. So yes. We will get to that. But before we get to any of that, I'd like to break down your bio, Danita. And first, welcome to the Isis Djata show. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Just taking it easy. Trying to maintain during the pandemic and keeping myself occupied.
That's good. Yes, everyone is trying to stay occupied during the pandemic. So the first thing I'd like to do is I want to go into my segment, break down the bio, where I like to look at your bio and see, just kind of snoop around a bit. So you came here October 29th, and you were brought by somebody named Des, D-E-S. Let me take a look at this fellow.
Yes.
He's a handsome young man. Who's Des?
Well, Des is actually a great friend of mine. He is a manager for TravQ, who is an influencer, actor, and a young man that you may see on social media, always talking about whose man is this, and then he puts heart stickers on young ladies and goes around. He just creates funny videos and promotes people. So we all came up in the business together out in the streets of New York, going to red carpet events and a lot of events, and we just built a friendship, and it just evolved over the years. So we're like great friends and support each other. So it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's actually someone I should connect you with as well, So Trav would be a great guest for the show as well.
Oh, I thought you were like saying connect us for a date because I'm not single.
I know. Yeah, I met. Ooh, now, yes, you are not, and I'm happy for you. You have a very handsome man, and he has a fine woman on his arm. So,
Oh,
I says, yeah.
you know he's listening to this.
Oh,
He's smiling.
okay. Let me not say much.
He watches the call, but he'll listen. But,
Vondell, you're laughing over there, right? We got to watch what we say. We don't know if the outlets will pick up information and run with it. You know, like the Oprah Winfrey of Clubhouse is dating so and so. Did you hear about that?
you guys are hilarious. All right, so I'm still looking at this bio of yours, and it says here that you currently are doing the Donna Drake show on CBS. Tell us about that.
Yes, I met Donna maybe about 5 years ago when I was volunteering at a media event. And I was working in the medical field prior and did not want to go back to school to get a degree in media and figured just immerse myself into any and everything I could do in regards to volunteering. I saw Donna covering the event, interviewing people, and I stopped her and I said, hey, I'd like to be a television host one day. Do you have any opportunities for me as an intern? And she took me under her wing and taught me the ropes, and I started working with her show. And within a month, she moved me up to associate producer, and then I started doing hosting for her, entertainment and lifestyle hosting, and then covering events in Manhattan. She's located in Long Island, has a great studio, and has space for people to tape and different things like that. But she was a conduit for me transitioning and teaching me the ropes and giving me a place to make mistakes. And she would say to me all the time, Danita, this is the place where you want to make your mistakes before you get out to the, the bigger outlets or networks. And she was 100% correct about that. So she was a godsend. That's another person I need to connect you to, Ice.
That's so funny. Thank you. Yes, I want all of the connections. You will not get any cut from whatever I make.
No, and it's fine. But listen, and don't, everyone listening, don't take that too lightly. Like, you can't give out your connections to everyone. There are certain people that that you can trust and you respect. And when you see there's some type of collaboration that can happen and growth to make it a win-win, you make it happen, and you always reap what you sow. And I'm not doing this just to get something back, but Isis for sure, she would love you.
Oh, thank you so much. No, I'll give you $2.
Yeah, 2, please. Make it 3.
So, you're such a stunning lady. Tonight we're talking about, how to be taken serious in media, because you've been in this space, but something people don't know about you. You also have an advanced degree. Tell us a bit about that. So you're not only beautiful, but you're brilliant. So talk to us a bit about that before we get into the topic tonight.
Well, after leaving the medical field and going into media, I was given an opportunity to go back to grad school at New Jersey Institute of Technology and work on my master's in business administration. So I focused on marketing and management, and ended up getting a $25,000 grant and some scholarship money. And that really gave me that extra confidence boost that I needed for myself. Now, people might think, oh, why do you need confidence? You're attractive. But, we all have our own insecurities and things like that. But I wanted to get an advanced degree so that I wouldn't pigeonhole myself with just the medical field. And I figured getting an advanced degree in business administration would help me to evolve and work in different genres, which is what I'm doing now. So that's been amazing. And it's been very eye-opening, and I'm very fortunate. I'm so grateful, because undergrad school, I had to take out loans. With graduate school, that was a different situation, and that was my journey. So I'm grateful for that.
So what made you go for that? Like, what made you go for that degree? Because you already had your undergrad. Like, what was it that made you say, I want to do this, I want to obtain this?
It was always on my bucket list, like, I realized after college I wanted to was a pre-med major in undergraduate school. I wanted to be a doctor. That didn't happen. And so my next best route, I said, okay, if I finish college, I want to get a higher degree. It was just a personal goal of mine, just to make sure that I was marketable, that I was current, that I was challenging myself to get out my comfort zone, and then just learning to be in different circles, classes. I felt like getting a different degree would be to my advantage. And I find that getting an education is not necessarily about having, let's say, more accolades, but it helps you develop as a person in general. You know what I mean? Because I mean, to this day, I'm not working in as a business administration person, but I am using the marketing and communication skills. But it's helped me develop as an individual. You know, and then some of my friends like Vondell, he came out of college, and when I met him, he had his MBA, and I was like, this young man is doing his thing. Like, not his MBA. I think he had an advanced degree, and I was like, you know, sometimes when your peers have other degrees, they kind of challenge you to do better as well. So I kind of looked up to some of my peers, and he was one of them. You know.
Wandell, which degree do you have?
Yeah.
Hi, Isis. Hey, everyone. Hey, audience members. So I have an MFA, a Master of Fine Arts in Acting from Rutgers Mason Grove School of the Arts.
Wow, you guys are fancy.
Yeah, he's fancy for sure. He's a great actor too, Isis.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Danita.
That's another person I have to connect you with, Isis. I'm a connector, by the way, so we'll take care of that later.
Oh, that's wonderful. So talk to us a bit about being taken seriously in media. You're a very attractive lady, stunning. I mean, everyone's seen the picture I put up of you, breathtaking. You're like a smoke show. I'm sure everybody saw it. Heart attack. So tell us about being a model, being, you know, a media on-air host. Like, how has that been, you know, merging those two worlds where, you know, people oftentimes just see models as a beautiful face? Like,
yes.
How have you been able to get by in the industry and make sure that you're respected? Because I think a lot of people need to hear.
You know, it's funny you say that because when I first got into the industry, I would get that all the time where people would approach you with couch casting. People would not take you seriously, thinking that, like you said, you're just a pretty face, you have no brains, that you just want to get put on or get connections. And one of my mentors, Kenny Burns, he reiterated that how you show up is how you will be received. And something I learned over the years was to be firm and professional and don't take any BS. And sometimes recently I had a little hard knock with a client not valuing me or paying me my worth. But the reality is you have to put your foot down with a lot of things, and you just have to be no nonsense. I'm very nice, and I feel that oftentimes people see that as weakness, or they feel that they can just get over on you sometimes. But I try not to go there with people, but if you have to, sometimes you got to show them a different side of you where you're firm, aggressive, assertive, and put your foot down and get the support that you need. Sometimes I call my like Jasmine, great girlfriend, I call all the time. Like, Jasmine, how do I handle this? Or how do I do that? And she'll give me that extra support and put things into perspective. But yeah, I don't know why people perceive attractive women as being, I guess, quote unquote, ditzy or easy or whatever the case is. But it happens way too much. And you just have to put on your game face and, you know, take no crap. I'm sure I'll still get it in some ways, but I'm learning how to put on my, I don't know if we can cuss on Clubhouse, but I'm learning how to put on a new face.
Cursing is even better.
You know, you try not to go there, but Isis, you're a gorgeous woman too. You know how it is. I'm like, what? People will try you. They'll test you. They'll see how far they can go. They'll try to undervalue you, overwork you, and different things like that. And I've had that with a couple of bosses in TV as well. But, you know, it's hard lessons, but they're lessons that stick with you. And once you get burned or someone tries to do that and take advantage of you in certain circumstances, you toughen up quick, especially when your checks are late, you know?
Definitely. Yes, I am a beautiful woman too, like you said, but you see, I'm a woman with a fuller figure, so they never would mess with me too much because they knew I might sit on them.
Yeah.
So they would say, you know, this lady's like, she may sit on us if we mess with her too much. So, yeah, try, but I would say, listen, if you want to go to the hospital, keep playing with me. And finally, guys, our Instagram Live is up.
Yes.
This company I'm for this Instagram Live is very ratchet. I think I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not happy with it. Instafeed.me. Not happy with you. But we're up, so everybody on Instagram Live can see us. Hello, everyone.
Okay.
So happy you're here. I'm interviewing Danita Chantel, and she's talking to us tonight about how to be taken serious in media, because she's this gorgeous woman. You've all seen the promo flyer I put out. She's a smoke show. You know, you look at her and say, oh, Jesus, I'd love to look like that. But she's a serious media, on-air host. She's super smart. She has a graduate degree, and she's a writer. So we're talking to her tonight about how you maneuver in media when you're very attractive. And I know everybody's thinking, oh, what a big problem to have. I wish I had that problem. It's okay for all the ugly people. It's all right. There's a place for you guys, too. So we're happy you're here. We're finally live on here on Instagram Live. Hello, everyone. I see all these people on. So, okay, let's talk about, so you already talked to us a bit about, the way you deal with people that try to kind of get you on, I guess they call it the casting couch, for lack of a better word,
right,
is you just keep it serious. It's all about how you present yourself in the beginning. But can you talk to us about a situation you found yourself in where someone was really being overt and trying to get you to maybe, go with them to bed or something?
Oh, yeah, I got, okay, which one you want? You want East Coast or West Coast, guys? No, I'm just kidding.
Let's
Okay.
get East Coast. I'll take an East Coast.
No, let's do that.
Then I'll take a West Coast with a large drink. I like large.
Okay, how can I do it in reverse? I'll do the West Coast guy first.
Absolutely.
Okay, so again, my great girlfriend Jasmine, she had told me about the American Black Film Festival a few years ago, and I signed up to be a part of their volunteer crew. This is when I was first starting in media, and when I went there, I met a Hollywood manager who manages two big celebrities out in LA. Both of them were Oscar winners, African American beautiful women. And, he gave me his number and information and all that great stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, cool beans, no problem. And he was an older gentleman, so I figured I was safe because I'm young. What is he old? But little did I know. So a few weeks into, after, he reached out to me. We were conversing. And, he started offering opportunities to do things on television and things like that. And he started, this is around the time when, what is the thing called, where you go live with people on, the live streaming or whatever. Like FaceTime, that's what it is. I tell him my age. But anyway, he wanted to do FaceTime, and it was a little bit, the conversation was a little bit, you know how women, you can get those little vibes where your intuition tells you okay, something is going a little bit left. So we were conversing about a few things. He told me how he helped those two celebrities make it. And I finally figured, I was like, okay, well, I think he probably thinks I'm going to want to sleep with him or something. He just came out flat out one day and just said, well, how much are your expenses? And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, how much are your bills? I would love to take you out. I would fly you out here. What do you think about us being lovers? And I can help get your career together. And I was thinking to myself, I said, maybe I should tell him it's $10,000 a month. Then I thought, no. I'm joking. But, no, if I told you who he was, well, what ended up happening maybe 2 or 3 years later, a couple of other young starlets that were coming up the ranks exposed him when the whole Me Too movement came out. And the actor that represented him, she dropped him, and then the other one dropped him. So it's no secret, but it was interesting that I had that same experience with that gentleman where he was trying to offer me opportunities and different things in exchange for sex, and then offering to send me money and things like that. So, I mean, if I was a different kind of woman, I may have done things differently, but I was insulted, to be honest with you, because I find that when men promise you things, more than likely they don't deliver. It's just, they're just gaslighting you,
I hear that. Now, do you think that, why do you think he was so emboldened to just come right out? Do you think that women take him up on the offer?
Yes.
Sometimes, or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do, because he was so comfortable with it. And what was so funny about it, Ice, is he was about 5'6". I'm 5'9". Little short, old stumpy, a young man. I mean, no shade to the guys that may be on this live with that maybe a little short, but he was just so confident. You would have thought he was Brad Pitt or something. And I was like, he was just very comfortable with it. And I feel like a lot of young ladies, when we were at the ABFF two young ladies that had watched our interaction had asked if I could give them his number after, and I said no. You know, like, you just don't give away people's contact info. But they knew who he was. They knew that he had a great connection. They knew the two A-listers he represented, and a lot of young ladies, they just want an easy come up, and everyone's integrity is different. I'm cut from a different cloth. Not saying that I'm better than anyone else, but you know, I feel like if you give away your integrity or do things that that's not who you are, what else do you have left? Because people, I feel, want your essence. They want your energy. They want who you are. And there's no other you on this planet. So when they're attracted to you, whether it's your beauty or what you offer on the inside, you know, who would I be after that, you know? So, and who's this?
Oh, you're
Who's,
you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
So, and there's a lot in this industry. I mean, I find our industry is very cutthroat. It's very competitive, unfortunately. And I'm of the belief that what's meant for you is for you. But a lot of people in the world, they don't think that way. They don't believe that way. So, this is how it goes.
So, you know, do you think that other women taking you up on that offer would have been wrong to do that? Or are you kind of like, I don't like to pass judgment, it's just not me? Because I totally understand your stance. You have like, you know, conscience, and you have your moral compass. But
Yeah.
I feel a lot of women sometimes probably feel boxed in. Do you ever sense that being in this industry and kind of being on both sides, where you're a model, you know, so you're in front of the camera, and then also, you know, being an on-air media host still in front of the camera? Like, do you find that a lot of women, have any woman ever confided in you, like, yes, I did have to kind of sleep my way up the ladder?
Yes.
Did that ever happen?
Yes. I've met a few model friends that have done that have slept around with photographers or casting directors. And that person I was referring to, there were a few women that came out that said that they would meet up with him for sex once a week. Or some of them would come on and he would have them meet him in his office and pleasure him there. And they didn't get anywhere with their career. So I feel like when you make a deal with the devil, don't expect it. It's just certain things that you have to be mindful of, and not that I judge other women that do it, but I feel sorry in some respects because they may not have the same resolve or the same support or the same understanding that I've gotten over the years, and they're being taken advantage of and hoping that maybe this will work if they, you know, sleep with someone and they get an opportunity. But it happens so often in our industry, and it's just common. It's very common.
So what advice would you give to women? I'm inviting some more people to be VIPs on stage. What advice would you give to women or young people coming up in this industry trying to navigate? And what would you advise them, you know, in this area? It's such a tricky kind of space. What would your advice be?
You mean as far as the people hitting on them?
Yeah, dealing with men hitting on you, trying to sleep with you, making indecent proposals. What would you say to, you know, women coming up, you know, in the model industry, or, you know, pursuing a career as an on-air host? Like, what would your advice be?
Well, my advice would be name your price first. No, I'm just kidding.
That's true.
Make sure the price is high. Like, if people said $1 million, I'd have been like, all right, well, let me see what I can do by Wednesday. I'll be at your house tonight. Indecent proposal. Name your price first. Yeah. Yeah, be like, name your price first, and then figure how you know, if you work out your back that night. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm going to tell you this much: it doesn't stop. It does not stop. Whether you know, the men are always gonna. Some men are always gonna try me that way. But I would think. Have you ever done something that you know you should have done, and that guilt or that condemnation comes over you afterwards? I kind of feel like that's what drives me.
Ramifications are very swift. So I did all the candy outside, and then I went back inside.
Wait, Isis, what did she say? Could you do your mom's accent for us, please?
Oh, she said, "Oh, you want to die today?"
family.
We had a stage. But yeah, that's what I've done when I was younger that I regretted.
Well, to be honest with you, for me, intimacy is something that's sacred to me. It's something that's very personal, and I've never been the type to kind of just give that away with just anyone per se. And I feel like I'm the type of person, I'm playing to win. Like if I'm gonna be with someone, and I don't want just a one night stand, a fly by night situation. But I feel that when young ladies experience that with men, because it's not just attractive women, it's women, period. And I just think the way our society is, a lot of men don't respect or understand proper boundaries, and women as well. That you just have to be sure about your convictions and confirm like who you are and be assured in that. Because once you leave your door and you get out of your house, leave outside your door and you go outside into the world, you can be bombarded with so many things. And if you're not sure of who you are, you can get approached by the wrong man or a person or a situation and get taken out where it may take you years to come back. So you kind of got to weigh everything out. Count up the cost and figure out who you are and where your value lies. Like my value, I have a strong sense of my spirituality with God, and that's where my value lies too. And then sometimes these guys that hit on you, they're not even worth you giving your number to. It's like it's just, especially in this industry, there's a lot of snakes out here. There's a lot of people offering to give you certain things, but you just gotta learn how to be more discerning.
Definitely. So, well, now that you mentioned it, guys are not necessarily worth it. What do you look for in a man, and are looks more important than personality? If so, why? If not, why? Guys for everyone from just dated, single, friends, five, take them into the room now because this is the time that they should shoot their shot. She's single. I don't know when she'll be back on the show again, and it's hard to get in touch with her. So, anyone you know that's cool, ping them into the room. If they have $1 million, definitely ping them in.
Yes, please. Ping them in. I've never been the type, which my friends would always tease me. I never chose guys based on looks. I was always attracted to men who were driven, have charisma, and personality. I like to laugh and be myself. I'm a very silly girl. I'm smart. I like men that are respectful and that are not. This is something you may be able to help me with in your room too, Isis. Men that are not so easily hurt when their ego gets a little bruised, because sometimes they can be a little delicate. We can be that way too. But I usually like a guy that can have a great conversation, that has is spiritual, that's funny, that's driven, and secure and stable. I think those are pretty much it. He doesn't have to be tall, dark, and handsome. I think I can pick up for that. Sorry.
So looks, all right. So looks are not number one, but I'm going to be honest. I'm sure a lot of men are intimidated to approach you. I'm sure you have that problem as well.
But I don't get it until like maybe I'll call up a friend. Vondel's helped me with this over the years. Jasmine, until I phone a friend and they're like, well, they're probably intimidated. I'm like, well, what? It's just me. Like, Danita. But again, you're right. Maybe they are. But I hope that if someone does like me and vice versa, that we can at least communicate past that. Communication is important as well.
So good to know that I have to turn my ring light down. It's not as Baghdad anyway. It's ring light because I'm having hot flashes and I'm not in menopause, so I have to turn it down. So it's like,
I said,
like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
So I know everybody's probably surprised to find out that you don't go with a guy based on how he looks or anything like that, which is, refreshing for a lot of people, because I think for a lot of people, looks are very important, and I don't think that's wrong. Do looks play a role at all, or you'll go with a guy who's completely unattractive, or do you have to have some type of physical attraction?
It's the chemistry for me. It's the chemistry. But like I said, my girlfriends from high school, like, Danita, she picks. I just, I don't know. If you and I vibe, I may think you're handsome, and everybody's like, he's not the cutest guy, but if you like him, we like him, and that's it. But I don't know. It's never really big on looks. It was always chemistry for me, or charisma, or how I felt about the person. I mean, my first boyfriend in high school, actually, he was about 5'6". He was very short. I'm tall, smaller than him. So cool. But my friends were like, he's not even cute. I even tried checking him out. I was just like, well, I have a great time with him. Like, it's a big deal. But yeah, I was never that girl. Well, you trying to tell me something, Isis? Because I mean, your boo. He could be a model, or a calendar man. Like, I mean, my gosh.
Well, people have said to me,
Sorry. Yeah.
like, I think people think there's some type of arrangement. It's like, guys,
No.
there's no arrangement.
No, there's no arrangement. No.
It's never been said to me until I started dating him. I guess, like, I've always been the most attractive person in the relationship because I'm a pretty lady. But then when I started dating this guy, I think this guy may be more attractive than me.
I don't know.
People are asking what the arrangement is. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
but when I first met him, and I didn't know that you guys were together. I think you remember when I first saw him and some of the things that he did. I'm like, wow, that guy is fine. He is gorgeous. Like, somebody like him, I would probably never approach him. I'm thinking you probably wouldn't even think, you know what I mean? Like, his type, but he's a good looking. But yeah, happy for you guys. He's probably like, hello, excuse me.
Well, for me, I know people are not most supportive. They're like, oh yeah, sure, you're dating like a teen cute model, but you have to marry to say it's not important. But I always tell people, with my boyfriend, yes, he's very attractive, but the reason we are happy together is because we make each other laugh constantly. We really have a very similar personality. We're both Tauruses.
Oh.
And he's probably the most attractive person in the room, but he's also the most humble person.
He is very humble.
And that's why, very humble. Like, he never uses his looks to try to get ahead. He came from a hard-working family. Like, he just doesn't need social media.
That's fine. I don't care. You know what, Isis? As you know, social media is a job in itself. Like, trying to keep up with everything, I'm okay with that. Like, it's just not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I agree. So, listen, I want to get your commentary. We have a new segment we're starting tonight called Funny Headlines. So I want to get your commentary, you and some of the people on stage, on some of the headlines, and I want you to tell me what you think before we go to questions. So here's my first headline here. Delivery driver tells customer that their feet stink after dropping off their food. Well, that's rude. Like, that is so rude. Your feet have to really stink for the delivery person to say that because they're depending on the tip. Wouldn't you agree?
Vondell, what do you think?
Hold up, Isis. Go back.
These are real headlines, guys. Told the customer when he delivered the food that their feet stunk as they dropped off the food. So that was very good. But then I thought to myself, your feet have to really stink for the delivery person to know that you who their tip depends on, they tell you that your feet stink. You might want to go to the doctor. I mean, you guys tell me I'm reading into this too much, but your feet might actually really stink.
That's medical level toe jam, yes. That's atomic toe jam right there. That's atomic level Mars level. We need to call Elon Musk and Aussie and Bill Gates. We need to call them in to attack that doctor. And shows.
No. Nope. Hygiene is important to me. You don't gotta be cute, but you gotta smell fresh. Like, let's go.
Okay, so hygiene is important. story.
Yes, I forgot about that. That is important. We are so funny.
I recently met someone who had an issue with hygiene, and I was so taken aback by it because I'm just not used to people smelling, and the smell was so overwhelming that I had to check myself and said, was this me or what's going on? But of course I realized it wasn't me. I take a shower every day. But the smell was overwhelming. Do you think people smell themselves when they're going into the public like this and kind of, just having funk? I mean, what do you guys think?
I don't know because I met last year. Or the year before that. I met a guy at one of our mutual friends Selena's party, and he was really cute, but his body odor turned me off immediately, and I was just like, I don't have time at this age to be teaching someone how to wash or properly brush their teeth or take a minute before they talk to someone. But I couldn't tell whether it was his sweat or it was his body. And I was like, it was just such a turn off. And I was just like, this guy is so cute, and he kept talking to me all night. But it just turned that guy. I just couldn't. And I was thinking, was that my forever? Was Stinky Boy my forever? And I was like, nah, that wasn't him.
Now, so you were just talking to him and you started smelling funk?
Yes.
You know where it was emanating from?
I couldn't tell. So I'm like, well, because normally I kind of like slide a bag of candy. I keep a bag of candy with me. It's not a mint or something, just like whatever. I just couldn't tell. I was just like, this is too much work. Like, why did you, he's grown. Like, he's a grown man. We are never doing it. You should know better. Like, I don't know.
All right, let's go to the next story headline. Okay. Okay, a bride is enraged when her wedding dress shows up looking nothing like she ordered. Now listen, you guys know about this website, Wish.com. Anything you order from those sites is not going to look right. I mean, have any of you guys got taken for your money? I've been taken for my money 2 times ordering from those overseas sites where the picture that I saw was very nice, but what I received was a hot mess. Has it happened to anyone on stage?
Jasmine might be good to answer this because she works with brand ambassador type of things. Like she's with social media and branding, so she may have some stories for you with that. Jasmine, are you there?
I actually don't have any stories with that. I don't know what the clothing is with that, and I've never purchased anything. Maybe the size was off, but that's it.
Just the side.
You guys know about the websites I'm talking about, like Wish.com?
Yes.
Wish.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like, this is what you wish it would look like. I know exactly what you I've never ordered off of it. We should all order it just as an experiment to see what comes back.
Somebody on Instagram Live says it happens all the time. Yes, it
Well,
does.
that'll teach you for getting it from China, guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, that's right.
And then when I got my order and it was complete, like I had ordered a jacket with some faux fur, it showed up looking like it had been through the ringer. And then when you try to get customer service, good luck with that. There's no one to email and they don't reply. So yeah, I can understand that the bride was upset, but I'm not surprised. I don't think I would have ordered my wedding dress from one of those sites because I just think it's too risky, right?
That part, Isis.
That's the part. I can't believe you would take something so sacred like your wedding day and put it in the hands of a Wish. Right?
When you're on a budget, Jazz. When you're on a budget. When you're balling on a budget.
But there's places she could have gone locally, I'm sure, and even gotten something secondhand. I'm sure they have some beautiful secondhand dresses that she could have spruced up. I mean, I don't know. I just wouldn't have done that. But let's see our next headline. Okay, funny headline number 3. Man claims he doesn't have time for chores while his partner has 2 jobs and is in school for their PhD. Oh, my goodness.
Hey.
So this guy's partner is in school for her PhD, and she has 2 jobs, and her husband says he doesn't have time to do the chores. What do you guys think of that?
You just need to add 2 things in front of it. EX.
Exactly.
Wait, I see Colt.
Is it unreasonable that the person who doesn't have 2 jobs and isn't in school for the PhD would have to do some chores? He says he has no time.
I think we need to hear from the guys on this one. Like I see Colt and Toby and Vondell. Like I don't know what to say about that. She may have spoiled him, maybe.
I was about to say. So again, Isis, let me track. So the young lady in this situation is like the Living Color skit. Hey, Mom, how many jobs you got? That's her, right?
Yes.
And he's doing nothing.
Yes, he's just home, it looks like. But he told her he has no time to do the chores.
Maybe she took all the jobs from him, and he feels like he can't compete, so he's just like, whatever. It doesn't matter. She's going to do it anyway. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, come on, you have to work together. Okay, what's our next funny headline? Let's see here. Dating app Hinge. Have you guys heard of the dating app Hinge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How many of you are single? Clap your mic if you're. Oh, my friend Silk is here. It's party now. Okay, many of you are single. Okay, and beautiful Blanca. Hi, Blanca. Come. You know, Danita Blanca, I interviewed her. She's a body language specialist, so she's also a good person to know because she can tell when people are lying.
Even on Clubhouse?
Oh.
Let me follow Blanca right now.
Can you hear it in our voice?
It's interesting that you say that because sometimes you can hear people lying when they're talking. It depends on how they're using their voice and projecting it, but it's also when it's auditory, it's also words. You really focus on what they're saying and what they're not saying, what they're holding back on. When they're telling stories, how they use pronouns or verb tenses, or even the emotion that they tell you that they're feeling in stories that they're telling you. All gives clues and what we call hot spots to let you know if there's potential lying.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good to know. Guys, Blanca is the kind of person that you hire when you're going on the first date. You should have her already at the restaurant, parked there, to see if she can kind of tell whether your date for the first time is a liar or is lying about anything. Because she can, read their body language and tell you. She can be texting you in real time. Danita, on your next date, whoever it is, I would hire Blanca to be sitting at the restaurant so she can tell you all about this guy.
Listen, I just told my friend this today, Lorenzo. I said, but I'm home a lot. He said, well, you need to start going out on some fun dates. I'm like, we're in a pandemic. Let me know. I'm ready. Let's go. How am I going to find these gentlemen? So I'm open. I'm ready to go.
Danita's a celebrity. I just saw her on SNL last week. I was watching it.
Isis was there too.
I was like,
in the audience.
I know that ponytail. I know that ponytail anywhere.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about that for a second. I read an article, a headline, I think it was the Daily News or the Post. They said that people are hornier now than ever because they've been locked up during the pandemic and that, the floodgates have been opened. And I said, oh my goodness, I hope the STD count doesn't go up.
Oh, well now.
Wow. If I can add to that.
Please, Jazz.
I did hear something about that. People were projecting that the STD level will rise once the pandemic is over because of that. It's a lot of pent-up frustration over these last few months. So I'm sure people will be itching to, let that out.
No, I understand.
I think we could add pregnancies to that.
No pun intended.
Who said pregnancies? People said
Blanca.
Okay, so you think people are going to get knocked up as well?
I think many people have probably already gotten knocked up over the past year and a half.
Hey, it's Toby.
I've heard of people saying COVID babies. I'm like, no, don't call them COVID babies.
And dogs, too. A lot of people have been getting puppies. A lot of my friends have been getting
I thought you were saying they're sleeping with the puppy. Oh, my goodness, Toby.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, I see Ty Cole here, entertainment journalist, one of my friends here, too. He could add to the conversation as well.
Bring him up. It's a
yes.
We're talking about sex with people and other things. So now, hi, Ty. How are you?
Hello. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Show. We're just talking about the people are pent up from being in the house and they're looking to have sex, and that the STD rate may go up. You've come in at a
Wait, I thought this was how do we take it serious in media?
We finished that segment about 20 minutes ago. We just segued into a new segment that she started, which is hilarious. So she's reading headlines.
I thought the same thing too.
Okay, so
reset the room.
I said this room is clickbait. No, we actually were talking about that, and then we got into this topic because we were talking to lovely Danita about dating. She's so gorgeous and she's single, and we got into that topic, and then it just went over and segued to the topic of sex and the fact that there was an article recently. I think it was the Daily News or maybe the Post, because they always have kind of trashy articles. And on the front page, it said, people who have been pent up in their house and haven't been able to have sex are, raging and looking to have sex during the pandemic as it winds down. And I wondered if the STD rates might go up. And it's kind of been, Jasmine said she believes so. Jasmine, was that an article about the STD rate going up, or did you just hear that somewhere? Or
I think it was an article or, a quick post I saw somewhere, like an article, like a screenshot from an article or something like that. But yeah, no, they mentioned that they're projecting that STD rates will rise once people are getting vaccinated and states are lifting restrictions on, our ability to, kind of congregate together.
My goodness. Well, I hope that everybody will be safe. So, guys, we were just also doing our segment Funny Headlines, and I was reading some of the headlines to Danita and everyone on stage, and people were giving commentary. So let me give you guys the next headline. So the dating app Hinge, have you guys heard of, just flash your mic if you've heard of Hinge, all right? So the dating app Hinge is paying people to go on dates as lockdown restrictions ease. Now, that's interesting. Now, if I was single, I would go because I could probably get at least 3 free meals in a week, and I would really save money. So I think I'd go. What about you guys?
I'd go. Wait, how much are they paying?
Thanks for the plug. Oh, you just okay. I am going.
Tamika's going.
Ty, you going?
Yeah, I'd go too.
I don't know. I met some weird characters on Hinge.
I have to.
So wait, did you meet like a serial killer or something, or?
No, I got threatened by a junior mafia on Hinge. I met a girl who told me for $600 just cash app her the money. The writer in me was so curious, Isis and everybody. She hit me up and she was like, "Hey," and she was like, $300 for 2 hours, $600 for the whole night. I'll come spend the night. So I said, I was about to unmatch, and then I said, wait a minute, this is just too good to let go. So I said, well, how do people pay you? And she said, oh, you can send it through Cash App. And I was laughing on the other end. I said, but wait a minute, you expect me to send you someone to send you money that you haven't shown up and expect you to show up? I can't go to the cops with that. I had to keep asking. So I said, well, what if you rob me? What if you rob me? And she said, honey, I'm a hooker, not a thug.
Please know the distinction. Please.
By now, you have to write that story.
I'm a hooker, not a...
That's funny.
That's hilarious. That's a good one line. I'm a hooker, not a...
You're not gonna come to meet me somewhere and somebody's gonna rob me. She says, I'm a hooker, not a thug.
Well, she was making the clarification, and I think that's important. All right, so, but some of you would actually go on the date, so, Hinge is giving out money for people to go on dates. So if you would consider it, flash your mic. I'm just trying to take a poll here.
Well, I just looked it up just now. I'm about to sign myself. Are we securing the bag? If I can secure the bag, I'm gonna secure the bag. I always believe in multiple streams of income. And honestly,
multiple streams of fun.
Lucky fellas to come talk to me could be the winner. So I'm gonna go for the highest bidder. Period.
I love that. And I want to poll the audience. If you're in the audience, I'd love to have you answer this question. So the dating app Hinge, as I stated before, is paying people to go on a date as lockdown restrictions ease. If you would go on a date, raise your hand. Let's see who's going to put their hand in the queue.
How much are they paying, Isis? How much are they paying?
The $300.
I did not specify that.
$300.
See, y'all going out there.
I just read that it says it was 15,000 euros is a voucher. So it's $50,000 in vouchers. So it's probably like $50 per date, depending. And then if you like each other enough, for a second date. So it's a second date stipend. You can use that stipend or whatever you want to use it for.
So me and Ty
Stimulus checks.
Yeah.
Stimulus.
Yes. Some of use their check and his check.
Okay.
That's enough for me only. Like, what is that?
Wait, what's the conversion on 15,000 euros, Isis? Isis, what's the conversion on 15,000
The euro is stronger than the dollar.
No.
Let me see.
Do I look like the money exchange?
I'm going to look it up.
Somebody can figure it out.
I'm going to look it up.
That's inquiring minds want to know.
I'm going to look it up.
I don't think they're giving you 15,000 euros for one date. That would be a lot of money. So I doubt it for one date. I think it might be a few days. All right, let me go back to the funny headlines and see if I can get another one here. Let's see. Woman loves to pamper her dog with fake nails, and some are saying that's animal abuse. So she's putting fake nails, like the ones that ladies get at the salon, on her dog.
Why can't she just polish the nails and call it a day, like they do at the groomer?
Why is she doing any of that? It's a dog.
Right.
She's bored. It's a pandemic.
People are crazy about their dogs.
Yeah.
How are journalists finding out about these stories? This is wild.
Slow news day, a slow news day.
You're stuck in the house. We're collectively losing it during the pandemic, as Jasmine would say.
Okay, here's another funny headline. A woman spends a year collecting fallen hairs from her head, then uses those hairs to make extensions out of it. Oh my
What?
God.
That's one way to save money. That's real.
Yeah.
I swear, guys, I'm reading these headlines for my segment, Funny Headlines. I just read it.
Well, first of all, wait a minute. First of all, if she has enough to collect, that first sew-in was not really good hair, so I wouldn't really reuse that. I mean, if it's falling out like that. That is hilarious.
This is actually a white woman, and it says here that she takes all of the hairs that fall out of her head, and she collects
Her own. Okay.
her own hair, and then she uses the hair to make herself hair extensions.
Wow.
Well, it's her own hair. It's an angle.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
Would you guys do that? Any of you? Would you take your fallen hairs or your fallen wig hairs and make a new wig?
I don't have that kind
I'm
of.
like the husband that don't want any more chores. No, that's too much for me.
This conversation is so interesting to me. I am cracking up, okay?
Maybe she can sell them on Hinge.
Or Wish.
That's a good one, Jazz. Wish.
All right, so that was, listen, guys, that was funny headlines. We had a good time with that. So before we take a few audience questions for guys that might want to shoot their shot, just really quick, I want to talk about your hallway, Danita. It's time for How's Your Hallway. So how is your hallway? Tell us the funniest thing that you've seen happen on Clubhouse.
Wait a minute. Wait, could you break down what How's the Hallway for me again? You mean, what is...
So we just want to know, I'll tell you what it means. How's Your Hallway? It's our segment I do where we just talk about your hallway, where I ask you, what's the funniest thing you've heard on Clubhouse? What's the craziest thing you've heard? Who's your favorite moderator? And you can't say me. So we're going to just ask those quick 3 questions. So tell me what's the funniest thing, if you've heard anything funny on Clubhouse, if you've heard it.
Oh, the ones that I like to, well, not the ones that I like. Well, I accidentally went into some rooms where they're talking about high value men and women. So those rooms have been quite interesting. Hearing some of the conversations and what people judge according to, it's just funny. My favorite moderator, I would have to say for now, I enjoy you, and I can't say you. I enjoy Selena Hill. I've gone into a few of her rooms. And my guilty pleasure is also Jason Lee. He's hilarious. I'm sorry, but no shade, Jason. But he's hilarious. And he had a room one time with Funky Dineva and B. Scott and a few others. And it was just hilarious. And what was the last one? The last question you asked me?
Tell us the craziest thing you've heard on Clubhouse when you've been in a room. What's the
the craziest thing I heard was I'm a whore, not a thug. I think that was the craziest so far. Thanks to Montel. I'm a whore, not a thug. That should be on a t-shirt.
She's not on that spectrum.
I'm a hoochie. Is it up if it's up?
Let's take a few audience questions. We have some audience members, and I have a bunch of my favorite mods just hanging out here with us because they are just awesome. So let's take a few audience questions. We have Zahara. Hi, Zahara. Welcome. What's your question for Danita?
Hi, Isis. Thank you for bringing me up. Hi, Danita.
Hello.
I wanted to go circle back to dating. I wanted to ask Danita if she'd ever been out with any European men, and if so, what did she like?
I've been out with a few European men, yes. What did I like about them? I would say they're... Oh, I don't want to sound like a gold digger, but you can fill in the blanks. No, I'm just kidding. What I liked about some of the European men that I've gone out with, there seemed to be a different approach to romance, the conversation, the way that they treat you on a date, their thoughts, their conversations. But that's about it. I haven't been out with a whole lot. I would say I can count on one hand, but that's been my experience. Did I answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And Zahara, what made you ask?
I was gonna ask her the same thing.
Yeah. Do you have a European guy that you're trying to hook up with, Danita?
I lived in Europe for many years. I know a lot of European guys, so I just wanted to see if she liked them. Maybe I could introduce her to someone. And they're all high quality, affluent guys too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for the high quality. That's important.
Oh yeah, definitely high quality. It's not about like money, but when you're ambitious,
Yes.
like you, Sis, or like Danita, and I'm an entrepreneur myself, you kind of want a guy who's also ambitious.
Thank you, Zahara. I appreciate that.
All right, so Zahara's going to DM you so that she can talk to you more about that. And I mean, while we're talking about the dating thing, before we move on to the next question, would you date outside of your race? Or are you only open to men that are African American?
No,
just so the people trying to shoot the thought know if they have a chance.
No, I will. I think I have to be open. When I did try out, I was afraid to get on the dating websites for a minute because my friend said, don't go on them. It gives you false hope. It's like picking through trash, blah, blah, blah. And when you fill out the questionnaire, they ask you about races. And I figured if I click onto just one group, then I'm limiting myself. Because who knows? What if he's Italian? What if he's Asian? What if he's a Middle Eastern? I don't know. But it was interesting. I mean, I will tell you this much. Every race has some affluent gentlemen, and every race has a little bit of quote-unquote trash. So, so I've learned that the hard way.
All right. That's good to know. So, guys, if you're looking to shoot your shot, or if you're in the room and you're a matchmaker, some guy, that is looking for love, good news, Danita is open to in her race and outside.
Whoever thought that I would be having this conversation when I got up this morning, but I'm glad. It's exciting.
Anytime you come here, it's unpredictable, my love. So, Zahara, thank you for that question. Kenneth, welcome. What's your question? Uh-oh, Kenneth, you're talking on mute. It happens with... Oh, there you go.
No, I didn't really have a question. I was just laughing, and I wanted to tell Tamika, I better not find out she on her hands. Me and her going to go fight.
Why would you say that, Kenneth? I'm off a hinge. I must have tried it for like a week myself.
I get love?
Tamika, what's going on? I'm curious.
You better find some actual love. I'm going on love with no dates. Me and you gonna fight.
Okay, that is. It looks like Kenneth has his eye on Tamika.
I would.
He actually has his eye on one of my characters on my show, actually. So I can't take her sloppy second.
Oh!
Hold on.
She didn't mean.
Second.
No.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Not yeah, but I mean, I'm first. If you, yeah.
Yeah, and
No. Say what you mean to me. Say what you mean, baby.
Well, because there's no way not to say it without sounding cocky. I was gonna say if you met me and you set your sights on someone else, you've already. I ain't gonna say lost, but yeah, you.
No.
That's on you. How about that?
No. Tamika, it wasn't that, but me and you got business to conduct, so I got to keep it like that. I'm not trying to mix the two right now. And two, the girl on your show.
I feel.
And two, that's like Halle Berry. I ain't gonna never get with Halle Berry, but
hey, don't.
I like it at one point in time.
All is well. You can Holly Berry, we are good. You are good.
Yes, you can get with Halle Berry, Kenneth, for sure.
You guys take this to the DMs.
Is this what happens always in the ISIS show?
All kinds of things happen on the ISIS show. And Ty is an instigator. Did you see him revving it up, guys?
He is an entertainment journalist, okay? Yes.
I said I'm a reporter. That's what we do. So, Danita, what's next for you? What can we look out for next? You know, you're doing such amazing things. Where can we catch you next? Where can we see your next spread? You know, I'm sure when guys see your modeling pictures, I mean, they almost pass out.
Listen, that's so sweet.
Thank you, sis. I think you mistaken me for yourself on that last one, but I definitely appreciate the compliment. But for me, I'm hard at work. You know, you're a filmmaker. Like, I'm a filmmaker. So we're always moving and shaking.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tamika. I was actually asking
Tamika.
Oh, I apologize. I meant to say Danita. Tamika's like, why are you asking me?
That's all good.
No, I was enjoying. Listen, I was enjoying Tamika's feedback. I was curious to hear because you know I get motivation and inspiration from other people. Now, Tamika, you can finish.
Okay, so Tamika, you tell us what you're up to. She has.
I was just gonna say, I'm just trying to be like Danita out here. That's all. I'm done.
Okay. I think the next thing that I have, I'm planning to do, I am going to do one more shoot. I'm trying to keep myself busy with that because fortunately, people are still calling me to model, which is great. I was able to work during a pandemic, which surprised me. I pitched myself to a few other outlets. June, I'm hosting for, I can't say who it is yet, but stay tuned because I'm hosting with another outlet, which is going to be phenomenal. And I'm just praying that I survive this pandemic because I have so much pandemic fatigue, cabin fever, and I'm going to take a vacation and just keep at it, you know. So and I'm getting tired every time I go outside. I don't know if you guys have dealt with this. This is just like a random thought. Everyone convincing you to get this vaccine shot, and I'm just like, can I just go to the grocery store and get my bread? Like, you know, it's fine.
Yes, very true.
What is that all about? It's just, it's like, I thought our health was a little bit personal. Now everybody, did you get the vaccine? Are you going to get the vaccine? It's like, mind your business.
Well, I'm the worst because anytime anybody gets sick, you guys will tell me if you agree. I immediately say, oh my God, do you have COVID? Somebody can cough and I'm like, oh my God, do you have COVID? You have 5 days left to live.
It's not.
I'm the worst. Like, if you could sneeze and I'm like, oh my God, you have COVID. I get my deck and start spraying the witty deck.
It's so funny, Isis, that it's so formal now. It used to be we were saying you got Rona, you got that Rona. Now it's COVID.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm like, coronavirus, COVID-19.
Yeah. So
explains your sneeze and says, oh no, it's just allergies, not COVID.
You know, we can't sneeze anymore, guys. You can't have allergies in public anymore because everyone looks at you like you have coronavirus, including me. I've looked at people and give them a dirty look. You know, I've turned away.
Corona-noid. You corona-noid,
And what about holding your breath so you don't sneeze or cough? Now, that is crazy.
Well, what it used to be, and this is Paula speaking, is, you know, if you had to fart in public, it was like the ultimate, like, thing that you just didn't do. I mean, you would maneuver yourself, and, you know, nobody cares about farting in public anymore. Everybody's like, just don't cough. Whatever you do, don't cough. Even when I take my kids out, you know, if my daughter even tries to cough, I'm like, now give them a reason to kick us out of Target, you know. So, like,
That's so funny. And before we end, I mean, did you guys hear that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was just kind of put on pause because of a small group of people that were getting clotting? But, I mean, it's a very small group. They've given out millions of the vaccine to people that are Johnson & Johnson, but I guess they're erring on the side of caution.
I don't think it was a small number of people.
So I got scared. Did you hear about that, Danita?
Yes, I did, and I am of the school of, I used to work in doing medical research, and I feel like some of these vaccines were rushed to be mass produced. I understand both sides, but the reality is a lot of vaccines, and it takes about a good 3 to 5 years to develop a good vaccine, and we just have to go into it understanding that, the first 1 or 2 years, you're going to be quote unquote part of that trial. So just do your research and then pray that the the vaccine will do no more or no less of what it's supposed to do if you get it. But yeah, when they pulled the Johnson & Johnson one, I was really, really surprised at it. And I don't believe 100% that it was just a small percentage, because if it was that small, why are, I don't know. Something doesn't sound right,
Yeah, something's a little wrong. Guys, Brian Rader just came and joined us on the Isis Djata show.
Hey, Brian.
Uh-oh, Brian's speechless. He saw Danita's picture from the promo.
You know what? Brian is...
Yes. Instagram. Brian, are you there? Uh-oh. Brian is speechless. He's not able to
It's
talk.
okay. He may have come in just to listen, But he works in media as well, right? Isn't Brian in media?
Oh, yeah. He's in media. Brian, I think he might be having trouble with his connection, so I'm sure he'll chat if he can. But no, yeah, I was surprised too about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. But who knows? Us Africans, we just like to wait for a good while. We don't really like vaccines, so we're gonna wait and just. We kind of feel like the one that's being given out now is like, when you go to the store, it's like buy the 2-for-1 special is the one that's on sale. Yes. So we're waiting for the upgrade once they've already gotten all the kinks out.
Yes.
The non-wish vaccine.
Yeah.
The non-wish one, yeah.
Listen.
And that's the one we're waiting.
This was a lot of fun. This was a whole lot of fun. But I definitely, Isis, want to connect you with all of those people that I mentioned. I will be in your DMs and your text, because I do have, now that I see that you have certain guests on and the conversations are lively, they can go from something serious to something fun. I may have to be a quote unquote honorary producer to pitch a few people to you, and also to have you come on their platforms as well, depending on who it is, because this was fun. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, my darling.
So proud.
I appreciate that. When I came up with this idea to do the Isis Djata show, I always like to do things different than everyone else. So I said, okay, everyone's starting a show on Clubhouse, which made sense because monetization was coming. But I said, how can I be different than everyone? So when everybody goes right, I like to go left. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to do the Isis Djata show, but I'm going to stream it live on Instagram so that all the people that are not on Clubhouse can experience the interviews and get a feel for what Clubhouse is like. And I am the first Clubhouse show to stream live on social media, and I do it 5 days a week. So it's working out great. I appreciate that. It's definitely hard work producing the show. My producers, Rachel Weintraub and Adam Ray Siegel,
yes,
and my sponsor, Tamara Lure, they know how hard it is. They help me, and they still know how hard it is for me. So I appreciate the recognition, but it's a lot of fun. And I think when you're doing something you love, it's not bad. But I definitely have all types of crazy scenarios that go on that you guys don't see by the time that I go live.
So this is another extension of your creativity, because you directed your last film, and this just seems to be just another avenue for you to express your creativity.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I feel like I'm being interviewed. You're a good interviewer, Danita. Well, I mean, of course, you're a media host. I feel like you're interviewing me, but no, that's true. It's been great, and I'm so happy you came on. I can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Everyone, clap your mics for Danita Chantel.
Thank you.
Danita, thank you so much for coming on the Isis Djata show. And if you're not already following the club, click on the green Monopoly house above Danita's head. Follow the club, because we always have really interesting guests on. On Mondays, we do the Creators Edition, where we bring a lot of great creators like Tamika and Yvette and all these other super talented people on. And I basically talk to people about how I've monetized the app and give them step-by-step instructions on how they can do it too. And my co-moderators, like a lot of these lovely people, also give strategies and tips, so it's great. And I'm just so happy you came on. Thank you to our sponsor, Basal. Remember, for every person who stays for the show, Basal will donate one impact to the United Nations. That means money, God. So we can enjoy the show and also do things to protect the planet and its people. Tomorrow on the Isis Djata show, I have the lovely Randy. She is a voiceover actor, and she's just amazing. She has done the voiceovers for the Oscars about 10 times. So she's going to be on with me tomorrow.
Wow.
Thank you all for tuning in, Danita. It was an absolute pleasure to have you here. You are gorgeous. For anyone looking to shoot their shot to Danita, if you're 5'4" or above, she's interested, go ahead and DM her, and she will
5'4".
Wait
a minute.
My girl is not going to get with somebody 5'4".
Look at all my crew.
Long legs, so it's not some kind of 5'4" man.
You guys went crazy when I said it. Okay, yes. She's 5'9", so please try to be comparable with heels from 5'11". So if you're interested and you don't have any companies and you haven't killed anyone, go ahead and DM her. Looks are not the most important thing. She wants you to have a great personality and she wants to be able to vibe with you. So for all that,
No foot funk.
no foot funk. No.
And you could be a short.
It could be that she has to be able to win. She has to be able to go underneath the pole. Like, she can't be at that limbo, you know?
Yeah.
If 5'4", he's going to beat you every time. So that's the new bar.
Are these the kind of high-value men in those rooms, Anita?
Yes.
5'4"?
Yes. 5'4" with like a ton of kids from different women.
Well, stop hopping in them rooms, girl.
Yeah.
6 foot man or something.
You guys are crazy. I'm trying to end the show and you guys have me cracking up.
Did you know that before you end really quick?
Did y'all know about those dating apps for influencers or people that like have a certain amount of money or
SugarDaddy.com? You meant
I
sugar?
don't know what the name of the app is, but yeah, they have an app for like ballers, like a dating app, like if you want to meet a baller.
Millionaire Match,
Yeah, you
Sugar
have to,
Daddy.
like, sign up and be on a waiting list. I'm not gonna say how I know that, but
Ty, you could be a great sidekick for this show. You are hilarious. I love it.
Ty is so cool. I'm trying to end the show. This has never happened where I'm dying
sorry.
laughing. I have the craziest people on stage.
Well, but
Your commentary.
yeah.
All right, guys, this has been nice for coming on. If you do want to shoot your shot to this super successful lady, you can slide into her DMs. Please be at least 5'9". She does not care about looks. You do have to gel and have a good vibe. No foot funk at all. And she's serious about that. All right, guys, this has been Nice with Djata. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Danita. I'm
You're
still
welcome.
laughing. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Oh my God. Thank you, Vondell. I didn't expect you to stay the whole time, but would you be interested in being a guest on her show? Oh. Thank you, Isis. Okay.
Thank you for inviting me. No, I couldn't leave you out there. You invited me. No, I was coming to support you. Oh. Definitely a good time. Absolutely, but I would not be a guest on her show without you being on there with me. We have to come back. I should have been thought that we should have been had a show. Me, you, and Jan, that was the crew. Remember we went to the movies that one time? Did we go see Fast and the Furious? Was that Fast and the Furious 14 we went to go see? But I remember we was on, I'd be like, this Denise. Thank you for inviting me. No, I couldn't leave you out there. You invited me. No, I was coming to support you. Definitely a good time. Absolutely, but I would not be a guest on her show without you being on there with me. We have to come back. I should have been thought that we should have been had a show. Me, you, and Jan, that was the crew. Remember we went to the movies that one time? Did we go see Fast and the Furious? Was that Fast and the Furious 14 we went to go see? But I remember we was on, we went to the movies and we was listening to 2 Chainz. Remember that? And, where was we? Jersey Garden. You know, I had to come support you. I was cooking dinner and I was like, oh man, I didn't expect to come up to the stage. So I was going to eat my dinner and be in the background. And I still ate my dinner. I got it in, you know, in between while you were doing the interview. It was a really good interview, Danita. Oh my gosh. Very good interview.
Oh, I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, she called me at the last minute because someone she had on canceled, unfortunately. You know how people do. And but she's been doing this in Clubhouse for a minute, and Entrepreneur.com, Forbes, and Newsweek picked up on it and wrote an article about her. Like I said, Damon John, Patty Singer, and some other celebrities they paid her to moderate rooms, and she charges them $5,000 a month for her team. So she got 6 celebs to retain her for a month so they could grow their followers, and she helped reach numbers and got paid $30,000. I was like, this is incredible. She's like, oh, girl, they pay me to do this. So she just started making money on Clubhouse. And she said she would teach me how to do it. She'd teach us how to do it, but you know, we just got to be in it to win it. She really puts in a lot of time and energy, but yeah, she really came in and knocked it out the park. That's fine. Tie. Ty, I recommended that ISIS have you on the show maybe like once a week for like 15 minutes just to come in for commentary. She is known as the Oprah of Clubhouse. She made about $30,000 one month moderating rooms for celebrities because she was able to help them get their followers up. And Newsweek wrote an article about her. Forbes, Entrepreneur.com. She's the movie director and produced her own independent film. And then when Clubhouse happened, she got on there and started networking like crazy and made a career. She's been making money. So she just decided to do her own show. But I was like, Ty, she's like, he is hilarious. She just texted me. But I just sent you her info. Something you're interested in, I'll make the connect, or you can do it yourself, and you guys will be fine. But who knew it was that much money out there to make on Clubhouse? Ty, oh my goodness, Isis loves you. You would be great to come on her show, like maybe for 10 minutes once a week, just to give some hilarious commentary. She went to Clubhouse and rocked out to the point where she's now dubbed the Oprah of Clubhouse. And she started out as a film and movie director, independent. And she started moderating rooms for people like Damon John from Shark Tank, Patty Singer from Millionaire Matchmaker, and made $30,000 in 1 month just moderating their rooms so they can grow their followers on Clubhouse and grow their network. So she's knocking it out the park, but she definitely loves you. You too. Thanks. Ty. No. Being so ridiculous. You're a gem. Listen up. Yeah. Yes, I guess. The topics, the headlines were good. It's too.
Oh my God, Danita, yes. So let's talk on that business tip for real. Well, Sherry gave you, she could. So yeah, that's the way to go. Ask what you want. Ask what I want. If she's willing to show you and you want to invite me along for the ride, I will be open and I will accept. But if it's just she gonna take you under her wing, then I would cheer you on from the stands. But yes, I do have a desire to grow my Facebook following. My club